So we got all our pieces here assembled. The first thing I do is lay them out to make sure our marks line up and it's gonna sew together right. This piece gets diamonds. Here's how I sew them. So the one thing that I teach everyone, here's your lesson of the day, is I never cut the thread. I go here and I start sewing. I hang a little bit off the edge and I sew the next one. The amount of time that saves is unreal. All the stopping and cutting the thread, I mean, it takes at least twice as long to sew a single panel when you have to stop all those times. ¿Necesita telita?
Doble los de afuera. ¿Ves?
Huh?
Los de afuera doble.
Okay. So I start from the middle out. This foam's so thick. I didn't like the way that corner was, so I did it again. Okay, here's what we got. Okay, this is a tricky one. Here's how this goes. You see that point there? That's the end. So that's got to end right there. And same likewise over here. That's got to come around and then the end fits there. So this piece has to go first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it this direction because it looks easier, and I'm going to chip my marks. That way, once you chip them, then you could just line your mark up with your mark right there, no problem. Now, if you'll notice, that's not a straight line. I didn't make the templates. I don't know why it's like that, but I have this saying, if you're not gonna trust your own template, why did you make it? So in order to get the curve here, what you'll notice is that curves and that curves, and there's a little point hanging off. That's good. That's how you get your 1/2-inch seam allowance. Whenever you're doing something like that, there should always be a piece hanging off. Okay, now when you go around the curves, it's very important to relax it. If you want a good looking top stitch, you need to relax this thing before you sew it. This isn't gonna get top stitch, it's gonna get French seamed. And right now our double needle machine's down again. So I'm gonna show you how to do it with the single needle machine. Okay, so first thing you need we buy this tape, it's called twill tape. That's the correct thing to go underneath the French seam. It feeds into the double needle machine like it's supposed to. But it's very important to have something underneath the French seam for 2 reasons. One, if you just open it up and sew it, which I know everybody does, but you pull it apart and you can see daylight right through it. Furthermore, there's no backing. The only thing holding that whole cushion together is the little thread you got stretched apart. I can't imagine that it's gonna last very long. So you put your tape down, and then a lot of times, like, I'll start it like that just because I don't want it to move on me. Get your one side in here. Now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the edge of my foot on this side against that line, and that's gonna determine my spacing. And you gotta make sure to have this part open underneath. Just a side note, you know, this Cornerstone vinyl is so nice, man. I wish you could feel it through the phone. And I'm just careful to get the tape right and the thing open and the needle in the right position. It's actually kind of a lot of things to juggle at one time. All right, now since I'm using the side of my foot here, I'm gonna do the reverse on the other side. Oh, and I lost my thread. Come on. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have none at all. When you start sewing, it's always important to keep that thread taut so your first couple of stitches don't bunch up. This stuff's tricky to hold. Bless you.
Thank you.
And just like that, that's how you get a French seam. Looking good, looking good. All right, here's our final ear. We're just gonna line up our marks. That was such a drastic corner, that's why I chipped it on this one. I just line up my first mark and take it home. Same thing, I'm gonna use this tape. Start on this side, spread that apart, get the tape underneath it. Sometimes I just start it a little bit, just so it doesn't move on me. You know, if I had another one of these to do, I would do the ear before I put it in the middle. Holding all this material makes it a little bit harder to do. But we're already here now. So where you split it around the curve, it's important to like check that and make sure you get those little, all those little pieces opened right. If you get it folded back on each other, that's where you get the weird bumps in the middle of your union. just like that. Bam. The hard curves are the difficult part. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, because I don't wanna jam all this through the opening in the machine, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use the other side of the foot. Now I've got my regular welt foot on here. It's what I've grown used to doing upholstery with. I know in the comments people will say you're supposed to change it. It's the one I learned how to use. So since I'm using the side of the foot over there, what I'm gonna use is the inside of the dent. I'm gonna use the middle of this other one because it's my welt foot. I've got a little indentation on the inside and I'm gonna use that so I could go this way. And it should work out to be just about exact. And with your fingers now, you can feel if it's bunched up underneath it. It should all be laying pretty flat at this, by this time. Go ahead, feel free to look at it every so often, especially in the curves. It's hard to get the curves to lay just right. Bam, look at that, near perfect. Oh, this looks so good. Look at this, come on now. That's flawless. Got a nice French seam on both sides. Got your nice diamond. This cornerstone is so soft. There's nothing in the world this guy won't be happy with. Come back after lunch, I'm gonna staple the thing together.